much do you know about rabbit genetics, and are you willing to learn? Those are the questions posed by Rare Rabbits Snugglehaven. Rare Rabbits is an early access turn-based bunny breeding sim on Steam, wherein you manage your own rabbit farm, breeding a seemingly endless combination of rabbits to satisfy your customers, anthropomorphic animals who will ask for a random amount of specific rabbit breeds. I don't know what they do with them, but they're drawn with kind eyes, so we're gonna hope for the best. Hi friends, hope you're whelmed. I definitely have a lot of thoughts on Rare Rabbits, but before we go any further, I just want to tell you that the dev team reached out and offered me a key. Every time this happens, I still get ridiculously excited, so thank you so much to Thomic for sending me a copy of the game. As always, regardless of whether the key is gifted or bought, my opinions are my own. With all that said, let's dive into Rare Rabbits Snugglehaven. First things first, this is not your typical cozy game. There are cozy elements. They even had a themed update back in March that included seasons, new music, and the ability to pet each of your rabbits once per turn. But ultimately, I would say Rare Rabbits shines as edutainment that just so happens to be cozy. Before you actually start running your farm, a magical hedgehog will guide you through a tutorial that shows off just how much love, care, and real-world science went into the game. During the tutorial, you'll be introduced to your handbook. If you're not well-versed in the world of rabbit breeding, you'll want to use this regularly, as it goes over everything from what a genome is to the history of rabbit breeding. It's a quick intro for players who, like me, have no idea what they're doing. And I wish it went a little deeper for the sake of casual players like me. I think if you're already deep into the subject, or you've raised rabbits, this is absolutely the right game for you. For the rest of us though, cracking open a textbook might be the only way to successfully play. Because the breeding system is so detailed and takes its cues from reality, I think Rare Rabbits will appeal to a very specific contingent of cozy players. And I also think that's great. I'm glad those players will have a game specifically made for them that was clearly made with a lot of passion and has been getting lots of updates. I like the minigames, I think the music is chill, and it's amazing how many real-life hours you can spend just feeding your rabbits and clicking next month, kind of like you've been hypnotized. I've spent over 6 hours playing like a moth drawn to a flame. Plus, it's super cute, and those pixel rabbits are just begging to be cuddled. But it does have one huge drawback that stops me from recommending it to everyone. Rare Rabbits feels like a science lesson on the fly, one that assumes you already know the basics. The closest thing I can compare it to is taking a class trip to the animal shelter. By sight, the students can identify cats and dogs, but only a handful might be able to distinguish a Whippet from an Italian Greyhound, or a Siamese cat from a Himalayan cat. I know what a rabbit is. You could pop one in my lap right now, and I'd be excited because it's a rabbit, but would I be able to identify its breed or markings? Nope. And maybe it's because I'm missing that fundamental knowledge that the finer points of Rare Rabbits just aren't clicking the way they should. I want to make it clear here this is a me problem and has nothing to do with the game itself. I think it's well made, thoughtful, and addicting. But honestly...
Damn it! I'm the dumbest boy in school!
Theoretically, Rare Rabbits trusts that you can click on one of the chromosome pairs in your book and further click on one of the allele to show off genetic information. But if you're like me and you barely have a surface level knowledge, it's just guesswork and endlessly pressing next month, hoping that the next batch of kits has what you need to complete the customer's request. For example, this rabbit here, Zoe, is black with an otter pattern, but looking at her allele tells me she has the Vienna modifier. This is probably really exciting for people who already know what that is, but I had to Google to figure it out, and I think a Vienna rabbit is a blue-eyed rabbit with white fur. So I think the game is asking for a black rabbit with blue eyes, or a black rabbit with white markings? I really have no idea, but as you can see, none of the rabbits on my farm have that combination. What do I need to breed a Vienna rabbit, or just one with markings? When I finally found a white rabbit with blue eyes who fit the bill, she wasn't the right kind of rabbit either. You can tell by her info panel. But I held on to hope, which was dumb because that meant her offspring with a black rabbit, a single kit, was useless to me. I've been using Google to fill in the gaps in my knowledge to mixed results. I actually learned what a Charlie pattern is, and that you can get one by breeding two broken patterned rabbits together. But getting a specific type of Charlie, be it 1, 2, or 3, I left that up to chance. I spent 9 in-game years trying to breed a Lux rabbit, and 15 minutes Googling how to breed one before I just gave up entirely. The game tells you which genes you'll need to successfully breed the rabbits your customers want, and even includes tiny pictures, but I wonder if they could also include a hint system or just some extra pages in the handbook that are incredibly specific about what breeding certain pairs might lead to. Like, what combination of rabbits produces Lux rabbits and what makes them Lux rabbits? The game tells you that you need a Lynx rabbit for that, but then I have the same questions about Lynx rabbits. What are they? Which rabbits successfully produce them? I can squint at the chromosomes and allele like it's actually sinking into my brain, but it's not, because I don't know what any of those genetic attributes do or what they contribute to. I want to say a Lynx rabbit is the result of breeding a rabbit with an agouti pattern to a rabbit with chocolate coloring based on the information I have, but trial and error in the game has shown I'm either wrong on that or very unlucky with every single litter of kids. Ultimately, if I want to know these things, it's up to me to figure them out. And sidebar, I do want to know these things. This game has taken over my evenings. I might not know what I'm doing, but I'm having a great time doing it. If you're thinking of buying this for an enthusiastic Lil gamer, or you're somebody who just wants to play with minimal research involved, maybe hold off until it's out of early access. But its early access status means they're still tinkering, and I'm excited to see its improvements. I enjoy the mini games, a jumping game, and a rhythm game. They're a nice palate cleanser from running the farm. I do wish it was a bit easier to customize and personalize the rabbits a little bit, like naming them, because at certain points you will have multiple rabbits with the same name hopping around. Also, maybe I missed this, but when rabbits get sick, I'm not sure how to actually care for them. Eventually, you'll have too many to individually check every day, but when I did manage to find a sick rabbit, I either put it in the enclosure away from the others, or sold it and just pretended its new family took it straight to the vet for a checkup and some meds. I do like that Rare Rabbits honors the circle of life without having to worry about predators. It keeps the vibe generally cozy while grounding it in reality. There are also 2 gameplay modes you can choose from: Scenarios and Endless Mode. The scenarios ask you to breed a specific type of rabbit over their duration. The scenarios only offer a specific selection of rabbits for adoption, and you make do with what you have to fulfill the requests. Endless Game, on the other hand, offers the same thing, only randomized, and without limits to the number of rabbits you can adopt or sell off. Look, despite my criticisms of Rare Rabbits, I do recommend it, with the obvious disclaimer that it won't be for everyone. I've had a lot of fun with it so far, and though my learning process is unorthodox and slow, it's still a process, and now I can whip out random bits of rabbit trivia at the dinner table. And if I can actually figure out the genetics, I'll put together a breeding guide so it's easier for you guys if you are interested but want a bit more help. That's a big if though, so let's hope I can figure things out. I'm not above emailing the devs with questions they've probably heard 1,000 times. But someone much wiser than me once said, there's no such thing as a stupid question. So I guess that means learning something new is the whole point. If you made it this far, thanks so much. I hope you're playing a game just as wonderful as this one, and I'll see you next time.